Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Before we start, just briefly, I've now created an Instagram account. You can find the link for that in the video description, also here on my YouTube channel page or on my website. The reason is that as part of my 2022 plans, I'm getting more active on social media, including Twitter and Instagram. These are pretty much the only two platforms I am on. We have a Telegram group or several Telegram groups and a Discord server as well, but this is only for the paid membership. So if you're following any more crypto online on Telegram and you're not a channel member, make sure that this is not a scam group because only channel members get the link. So if you just joined one, this is most likely scam, and unfortunately I can't help you. This is not supported by More Crypto Online. On top of that, as always, there are scammers in the YouTube comment section. So if you see anyone who's sending you a message about sending them a WhatsApp or whatever, this is clearly scam as well. I mean, yesterday someone asked me if it was really me who was chatting to them via WhatsApp about a wedding gift. And no, I said, of course not. This is, of course, scam. I would never send you a message or ask you to contact me with a WhatsApp number. It's just ridiculous. So please make sure you don't fall for this scam stuff. There is only so much I can do. Yeah, and we delete them, but they appear faster than we can delete them, unfortunately. It's the problem most channels have anyway on YouTube. So, all right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently, as we speak, again below 42.7K. So it is still, you know, the sellers and the buyers, they are still fighting. That important support line, in my opinion, is neither lost nor won, you know, from which perspective you want to look at. It is this line, and the bulls and the bears are still fighting around it. It's an important one. It is here, this level that was broken, of course, and we talked about that before. This was based on the assumption that my primary scenario is still that we go up first and then come down. So in this scenario, what you could be doing here, or originally, this is not possible anymore because I'll show you now. So we could count this as a 1-2. This could have been a wave 3, this a wave 4, and that a wave 5. But in the wave 4, we now came down too low. Of course, it's still possible to go up. It's getting a bit less likely now, but we have to rethink then the scenario. This could now be a 1-2. This could be another 1-2. So it just would become an extended move up. Yeah. And just want to make you aware that the imminent or the previous scenario that I showed you with that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's not possible anymore. I would need to look at a different wave count, and it's possible you have a wave 1-2, a wave 1-2. The thing is really that depending on how low we go, it is getting less likely below that 42.7K, you know, to still move up. But it's still possible, of course it is. And again, it's all about probabilities. But what I showed you yesterday, that this line is not lost yet, even though we broke briefly below the 42.7K. But I showed you yesterday this descending wedge. And this is a potential bullish reversal pattern and could be another opportunity for Bitcoin to start to move up again. But only, as I said, when we break out of it, you do a retest. Ideally, that is what I like to see, ideally, yeah, because a retest is very important in terms of, you know, sort of being more on the safe side. Some moves up work out without a retest, so you don't always get a retest, but it looks like we broke out of this descending wedge that I showed you yesterday, and we were retesting it, and now we already see the next green candle, but it's really a fighting between the bulls and the bears now. So at the moment, even though we have this breakout, we need to see the volume and need to start to go up. In my opinion, very important, if I zoom in once more, the very important level now, it's not always the breakout that is important, but what is important is that first move up that you get, and then you come down, you retest, and here on the 1 hour chart, it doesn't really look like a retest yet, so theoretically we could come down a little bit lower before we do the retest. For now, I think we are retesting here this previous resistance level, so that's fine as well. So we moved up, and what is important now is that rejection point here, that initial rejection point after the first push above when we broke out. So we managed to get above, we managed to get to 42.9K. So what I want to see now in terms of, right, this is a valid breakout, is here this retest, and that might be already complete of that line. And then, however, a move above this rejection line at 42.9. I think then we can go up. For now, yes, we have broken out. First good sign, first good confirmation, but really in terms of getting the confirmation, especially on a weekend, where there is typically less volume anyway. So markets happen to be a little bit less predictable and happen to move a little bit less normal than they would normally do. I mean, if you can call any of that normal here. No, markets are dynamic, and on the weekend especially, you have less of the normal market behavior because you have less volume. You know, most other markets are not running. The crypto market is running 24 hours, of course, so it's always a bit tricky on the weekend. But yeah, this is really what has happened. We have broken out of the pattern. I showed you this bear flag here, but told you that this higher level descending wedge is of course more relevant because it's sort of the higher level pattern in here, and it's quite interesting that we moved up. But this could just be a fake out. As I said, we need to break above that 42.9k. That is basically the confirmation that we have broken out, did the retest, and then move above the previous rejection point. And then I think we could move fairly quickly even to the next one. At 44.5 was an important one. Yeah, this is here, 44.5. That was support and resistance before, and then again to 45.5. And overall, if this is playing out, this would be in line with my primary expectation that we still move up first, ideally to 51k first before we come down. But overall, anywhere in here, as we are sort of still in this channel, some people call it an extended bear flag, and you can see that if I zoom out further, it looks really bearish, like a bearish flag, right? You come down very impulsively, and you're not just, what you're doing here is just correcting that move from to the downside, because we were that massively oversold down here that the RSI had just to recover. For example, here on the daily chart, if we take a look at that, where were we? Down here at the low. Let's open that up. You can see how low we were. We were below, I think we were here 23. So this is when I told you we get a move up, but it's just taking longer than expected. Yeah. So that recovery was planned to a degree, but we came up a little bit too high. We broke above that 45.8k. Yeah, and that is when I switched over to this scenario that we first have now more space to the upside, but it didn't move through the 200-day moving average as planned. So yeah, we are again at a tipping point here. For the last few days, the price has been fighting. And again, if we move above 42.9k, that is the next level that I'm watching out for. Then I think we could see some more upside here today. Bear in mind, it's weekend. We don't have volume at the moment. We need to see that volume come in. Only then we can be more confident. For now, we see here, for example, on the 4-hour chart already that bullish crossover work out. Yeah, we were oversold as well. Yesterday we talked about that bullish divergence on the chart that we could identify in addition to that descending wedge. Typically when you see a descending wedge, you also see that. 1-hour chart moving sideways really. The 8-hour chart also continuously reducing negative momentum here in line with the 4-hour chart. And if that, or as soon as that translates over to the daily chart, we could see here a slowdown of the negative momentum, and that could again shift prices up, allow Bitcoin to rise again. Pretty much similar to what I said here at the top when we started to see that negative momentum appearing on the MACD, that we are coming down first, yeah, to 42.7, to that important support level where we still are. And we could now see that shift again, because we are here already slowing down the downtrend, seeing it on the RSI as well. Potential shift, making a higher low here. It's not yet confirmed if we see that higher low, but it's looking like that at the moment. And then from here we could start to move to the upside again. So again, it's not yet confirmed, but we need to move above that 42.9k. And that is really what I'm looking out for from a higher level point of view, really. Still thinking that, or my view is still that we need to get into this range. And again, can't really give you a timeline for that because it depends on, do we go down straight away? And that can really happen very quickly. I mean, this whole move this whole move from the middle of November to January really only lasted, a couple of months really, little bit less than a month. A little bit less than 2 months from the all-time high to 33k. So we could do this in 4 weeks, I guess, to come down into this yellow target area. But we need to get going, right? As long as we are in this channel here, well, it can really take a while, and especially if we move up first and then come down. I mean, this could take another quarter of a year, could take another 6 months even. I mean, this whole correction has now lasted a year. So you can see how long this really takes. And Yeah, a lot of people still talking about an upcoming bear market, potentially if we drop below 29K. What I'm thinking is we're already in a very long correction. So we are in a correction already. So that is what we need to understand, right? And that correction has already lasted a year. So again, it remains my view that if we get into this area down here between 20 and 29K, that is when we have a chance to make a, ideally, V-shaped correction, at least come out of it. How long we're going to stay in here, I don't know. It could just be a wick, but chances are we stay here for a few weeks and then start to move out fast. That would be ideal. That would be the ideal case, because what we did here back in April was a wave 1. We are now coming down in a wave 2, in my opinion, not yet completed. Just by looking at the price structure, what Bitcoin normally does as well, and by looking at the patterns and the Elliott Wave count that this price is doing, both of my key scenarios here are pointing me to the downside. Yeah, either we go up first, and that would be another opportunity for me to take some profits in this green box here, or we go down straight away. Well, even if we go up first, we're going to end here. So it would just be an extension of that move down. All right, that is currently here my view about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.